Hi，我咧好臭啊！I stink right now. I just came back. 我啱翻嚟冇幾耐啦，and I went to help with this organisation today. 咁我今日去幫呢個 NGO 手啦，and so ended up just spontaneously had to play with some kids. 咁跟住無端端要同啲細路玩啦咁樣樣，and it's a very long day. 跟住好長啦。They call me to be there at 8 o'clock. 佢哋 call 我08啦，but they didn't really start until like almost 10 但係差唔多就10點先開始啦。And then like but it was really a great activity 咯。咁但係佢今日其實係正嘅，so I did the same kind of workshop with the same organization in a different neighborhood like maybe a month ago. 咁我估大概2個月前，喺另一個即係我教緊戲劇嘅嗰個區咧，其實已經即係參加過佢哋一次佢哋呢個同類型嘅工作坊㗎啦。So it's a workshop for development in the neighborhood. 咁其實係一啲發展嘅，即係社區發展嘅工作坊啦，咁樣樣。They would like gather like young people and also maybe women from the neighborhood. 咁佢哋就會即係有年青人啦，有婦女啦咁樣樣。And then like they would do this like local tour in their own neighborhood. 咁佢哋就會有一個即係自己嘅社區嘅導賞團咁樣樣啦。So they would get to know their neighborhood. 咁佢哋就會即係喺自己個社區度遊歷啦，咁同啲唔同嘅人傾偈啦咁。And then they would come back, they would draw their own map. 咁跟住翻嚟就會畫翻個地圖啦。And then they would discuss about like the problems of the neighborhood. 跟住就會討論即係喺呢個區裏面佢哋覺得最大嘅問題係啲咩咧 ？And then how they can solve the problems or overcome the issues. 咁佢哋就會諗下即係點樣可以去解決呢啲問題啊，有啲咩方法去做啊咁樣樣。Now, so because like I have been going to the other neighborhood where the theatre is. 咁嗱，我之前已經去開就係我教班嘅即係教劇團嗰個區啦咁樣樣。And then like I also visited the other neighborhood yesterday. 咁琴日我又參觀咗另一個區啦咁 ，which is a very small neighborhood. 咁琴日嗰個就係一個細區啦。Now today I was in this other neighborhood. 咁我今日就喺另一個區啦咁。It's closer to central. 咁係近啲市中心嘅。Doesn't mean it's better， 但係唔係更加好。Actually, it's worse than the other two。咁你其實咧係比起另外嗰兩個係差啲添。One of the major problems is that they actually do not have running water。咁其中最大嘅問題就係咧，佢哋冇自來水啊，佢哋係冇水嘅。So and then like the neighborhood is really large， 咁佢係一個好大嘅區啦咁樣樣。When I ask the organizers, they don't even know like the sort of like the boundary of the neighborhood。咁我問翻即係負責嘅朋友，佢哋都唔係好肯定嗰個所謂嘅界線個分界線喺邊，但係佢哋咧個區係點樣 ？But it's like a valley actually。咁其實咧有少少好似山谷咁樣樣嘅。So it includes like all these areas that is below the hill。咁佢哋首先就係即係成個區就係即係喺山下邊嘅區啦。And then also like you would go up the hill, go up the slope, and then there are also all these houses as well that is in the same neighborhood。咁然後你上山上斜嘅話咧，咁山上面嗰一啲嘅單位咧，即係唔係單位 sorry， 嗰啲木屋啦，係啦，好多係都係呢一個區嘅咁。So you can see it's a very visible kind of like economic difference already within just the same neighborhood。咁呢個其實已經見到咧，自己呢一區本身咧已經有一個好強嘅貧富懸殊。The one thing that I've observed already in this country, in different cities， 咁其實咧其中一樣我喺呢一個國家見到，就算唔同嘅城市都係嘅，同我哋香港好唔同嘅嘢 ，which is very different from Hong Kong, is that like the higher you live most of the time， 好多時候咧喺城市裏面你住得越高咧 ，the poorer you are， 你就係越窮嘅。So it's the same thing here。咁今日呢一個區都係一樣嘅。When we went up the slope， 咁我哋一路上斜啦 ，and then we were up the hill， 咁我哋就上山啦咁樣樣。And you can see like is the resources is like much less， 咁即係你會見到越嚟越少嘢啦，即係咁樣樣。 albeit with a gorgeous view。咁風景係好靚，超靚嘅。But really， 但係真嘅，the conditions are poor。咁嗰個條件係差嘅。A lot of them were kind of like cartons built, kind of like crates houses。咁有啲係木卡板砌嘅屋啦，咁樣樣。So they're quite small， 佢哋係細嘅。You can imagine kind of like half a container or like 1/3 of a container, like a size of like half a container or 1/3 of container。你諗下，如果係嗰啲大貨櫃咧，可能係半個貨櫃或者係1/3個貨櫃咁樣樣。So you can imagine there is like nothing inside. Like I've seen like one house， 咁我有睇到一間屋就 inside of it， 咁佢見裝到入邊啦。And it's actually a room， 其實係一間房嚟嘅 ，so you can see the bed already in it。咁你就見到張床咯，咁樣樣。So there was nothing else。咁冇其他嘢㗎啦咁。And because in the neighborhood， 因為喺呢個區咧，佢哋especially up there 嘅，尤其是即係上咗山嘅地方咧 ，they don't have running water， 佢哋冇自來水啦 ，they don't have gas， 佢哋冇呢一個煤氣啊，即係煮飯啊咁樣樣啦。佢哋冇 ，and then they don't have sewage system， 佢哋冇即係廁所，佢哋冇得沖水啊，冇呢啲嘢嘅，即係冇坑渠，即係冇去嗰啲叫乜嘢啊？污水渠係啦，即係冇呢啲嘢啦，總之 ，so yeah, and it's just really like their living room is out in the open。佢哋嗰個所謂廳其實就係喺出邊咯，就係露天嘅地方，就係嗰張牀即係嗰個房出邊咁樣樣。So it's difficult， 係難嘅，即係真係生活艱難嘅。And also like it's the first time here，although I have heard about it a lot。咁另一樣嘢就係咧，我聽咗好耐㗎啦，聽咗好多，但係今日第一次見到。We were with these girls like 13, 14, 15 years old. At most 16. I don't think they are over 16. 咁大概就係14至16歲咁上下，唔會大得過16歲啦咁樣。One of them was carrying a baby。咁有一個咧就抱住個 BB 入嚟啦咁樣。And then it was her baby， 係佢嘅 BB。And she's only 14， 佢係14歲啫。And then there were 2 other girls who is pregnant right now。咁然後咧，你會見到另外有2個女孩子咧，而家係大緊肚嘅。They were also just 14 years old。咁佢哋都係14歲。I have heard like the earliest that they would get pregnant here，in Cartagena at least and is 12 years old。咁我有聽過咧喺呢一個城市 Cartagena 咧，最細個即係我聽過最細個12歲就已經係即係生 BB 做媽媽啦咁。So this is one of the problems as well, but it's very interesting。咁但係好有趣嘅。In the neighborhood of the theatre， 咁我去教班嗰個區咧，佢哋討論個區有啲咩問題咧？One of the problems they mention a lot is like the lack of sexual education, which actually directly lead to this early pregnancy. And then the problem like that follows for the girls. 咁佢哋就有特別係喺即係提到就係話即係青少女佢哋好早就會即係懷孕嘅呢個問題啦，咁就係基於即係缺乏呢一個即係有質素同埋即係有用嘅性教育啦咁佢哋就會引申到一套社會問題呢啲問題啦咁樣樣。And then there are also others like issues about like pollution and also about like collection of like trash。by the government。咁當然仲有其他嘢都似嘅，譬如就係關於噪音污染啦，關於即係呢一個環境污染啦，咁特別就係關於呢個垃圾嘅處理嘅問題啦咁樣樣。Which is the same in the neighborhood yesterday as well with the problem of the trash。咁琴日嗰個區都係一樣，就係關於即係收集垃圾嘅問題同埋即係回收嘅問題。Now today's neighborhood, although like right in my face,in a room of like around like 30 people with around like maybe 15 teenagers 3 of them like was either pregnant or like have a baby. Oh no, 4 of them. Like 2 of them have already had a baby and then 2 of them were pregnant. This is not a problem that they have discussed in the workshop. 咁雖然我眼見即係15個青少女，即係30個人嘅工作坊啦，15個青少女啦，然後裏面有4個2個已經生咗個仔，然後2個大緊肚。呢個問題咧，佢哋今日係冇提出冇討論嘅。All of them were about like pollution， 咁全部都係關於就係即係污染嘅問題啦。And also like of course like the most pressing issue is there is no running water， 咁就係同埋就係冇水啦咁樣樣。And then no gas 就係冇煤氣啊呢啲啦。No sewage system 冇即係呢一個污水渠啊，冇呢個鹹水啊，即係咁樣樣啦。And then also other issues everything is really like life and death matter, like no food to eat, like really poor economy with no jobs as well。咁譬如冇嘢做啦，真係冇嘢食冇飯開啦，經濟嘅問題啦咁樣樣。So even though like it's a problem for young girls being pregnant and giving birth so early on in their life that they have to give up study most of the time，which would affect of course like further development of their livelihood as well。咁當然即係你見到即係青少女佢哋咁早就即係懷孕，然後生 BB， 跟住即係可能要放棄學業，然後即係影響佢哋未必揾到嘢做啦，即係更加難揾嘢做啦。跟住之後成個人嗰個生命嘅發展啦咁樣樣。This is actually not their like most difficult problem， 但係即係呢個已經唔係佢哋最大嘅問題啦 ，because like it's a matter of survival as well, right？ 咁即係其實係即係已經係一個生死存亡嘅問題啦，冇飯食，冇水飲，冇得煮，冇煤氣煮飯，但係其實又冇錢咁樣樣，跟住又即係喺嗰個環境衞生上面，因為即係冇得沖廁啊，冇呢個即係呢啲系統嘅時候，咁佢哋嗰個即係衞生環境又會差啦咁樣樣。So it's very difficult， 係好難嘅咁。And when I was playing with the kids， 咁我就走咗去托兒嗰邊啦，咁我就同啲細路玩啦咁樣樣。And you can tell like there is violence at house， 咁你會知道佢哋係一定屋企係有暴力㗎啦咁。Because the way they were trying to resolve issues or trying to express themselves and then like how they crave attention, a few of them。 咁即係佢哋嗰種即係佢哋想要有注意力啊，佢哋點樣去討論事情啊，點樣去即係喺玩嘅過程裡面，即係你見到嗰啲即係用暴力去解決問題啊咁樣樣係so it's something that is very far from our reality in Hong Kong。 咁係一啲即係同我哋喺香港可能即係未必去到咁極端，或者我哋唔會有機會經歷嘅嘢啦咁樣樣。So I mean poverty is still a problem as well in Hong Kong。 咁當然即係貧窮喺香港都係一個問題嚟嘅咁 ，but it's not like this as well， 都係有啲唔同啦咁樣樣。So yeah, so it's a little bit so like this tiredness right now。 所以而家攰咧 ，it's not just only because of physically， 唔係淨係即係個身體好攰，即係好早起身啊，即係而係it's just to think about like how unjust this world is， 只係諗到即係呢個世界嗰種唔公義啦。While this city is the most expensive city in the country， 因為呢個城市其實係全個哥倫比亞最貴嘅城市啦，即係because this is very touristical， very touristic， 因為佢係超級即係遊客嘅一個城市啦，好揾錢啦，透過遊客。But at the same time， 但係同一時間其實 it's not benefiting everybody， 但係唔係所有人都可以受惠得到咯。And so this really makes you think, right？ 咁你繼續都係即係每日都係思考呢啲問題啦，自己嗰個嘅擁有嘅一啲即係特權嘅階級啦， 我哋有嘅呢一啲嘅比起人哋多嘅嘢啦。So think about your own privilege and the luxury that I'm enjoying every day。同埋即係你每一日享受緊嘅一啲即係比起佢哋更加豪華嘅一啲生活啊，或者各樣啊咁。So it's always difficult when you actually think about this kind of thing。咁其實每一次你諗呢啲嘢，你就係好難受啊，其實。So I don't know like there must be something we can do。我覺得一定有啲嘢可以做嘅。But I still cannot think straight right now。但係我繼續都係而家諗唔到嘢，我買晒啦今日。So I just continue to read 咁啊，今日就讀書啦咁樣。And then maybe something else would come to me later。咁可能遲啲我就諗到一啲嘢，咁我就會做啦咁樣。So anyway, let's start the reading。咁我哋正式開始。Read to Resist, Day 326。當閱讀也是抗爭，第326日。A Concise History of Hong Kong by John Mark Carroll。香港簡史，殖民地至特別行政區，著者高馬可，譯者林立維。The colonial government was thus in the unenviable position of preparing to defend a colony that could not be defended, even while maintaining its neutrality. In September 1938, the government reinstated the Emergency Powers Ordinance of the 1922, which allowed the police to deport anyone not employed, prohibit public meetings and organizations, censor Chinese newspapers, pamphlets, and placards, and call up a special force of constables. They also allowed the government to control food prices, intern Chinese and Japanese soldiers taking refuge in Hong Kong, and prohibit repairing and provisioning Japanese or Chinese vessels involved in the hostilities. 即使香港保持中立，但殖民地政府為準備保衛這個無法防守的殖民地，處境甚為艱難。在1938年9月，政府再次頒布1922年制定的緊急狀態權力條例，授權警察可將任何無業人士遞解出境，禁止公眾集會和結社，審查中文報章、小冊子和揭貼，並徵召特別警察後備隊。政府也有權管制食品價格，拘留在港避難的中國和日本士兵，並禁止維修和補給參戰的日本或中國船舶。So this is the reading of today。咁我哋今日就係讀呢一小段啦。And then I'll see you again tomorrow。聽日再見，拜拜。